Hey there, so you've got a virtual assistant interview coming up. Yeah, congratulations, and that's awesome. It's not easy at all being picked out from the crowd to get interviewed and probably offer the job to you. So it's not easy. Congratulations once again too. But calm down, hold up. Before you work in, or let's say before you log in to that interview, sit back, watch, relax, and listen to this video, as this video is for you. Let's talk about the big mistake, the biggest mistake you should avoid as a virtual assistant during an interview. Okay, so I'm spelling it here actually, and it's one that you would not like to miss out on. Yeah, sit back and watch this, so you would go in for that interview confident and ready. Let's dive right into it. Okay, the first ever mistake you would be making as a virtual assistant during an interview is before an interview is not researching the company. Not researching the company's question. Okay, so first off, researching the company in question is your homework. Immediately you applied for that job, you're supposed to research for the company. But let's say you're not so sure you would land an interview, let alone the job, okay? And you just go quiet and mute on the job. Once you see that you've been scheduled for an interview with this specific company, all you have to do is go ahead to the website, go ahead to the social handles, log in, and try to study about the company. Research about the company and get a handful of what you can on what the company does. Okay, you're supposed to make a whole research on this company, because it's gonna be somehow, and it's gonna be daft. Them asking you, okay, so why do you want to work with us, and you do not even have any idea what to say. Or maybe they ask you, so have you researched about our company? What do you think, or what do we do, or something like that, and you just go bizarre, you just go quiet, you just go mute because you don't know what to say. That is a very big error, and with this singular mistake you are likely to lose out on that job. Because let me tell you, there are so many other smart people who end an interview with them. Okay, so being given the chance doesn't mean that you're the only person, and for the fact that they've given you the opportunity and the chance, you're supposed to at least make them feel that it wasn't a bad idea after. The second thing you should avoid during a virtual assistant interview is giving generic answers. For example, you ask, what are your strengths? And you go ahead and say, I'm hardworking and I'm organized. For goodness sake, a lot of people are hardworking, a lot of people are organized. Okay, instead, go ahead and a better way to answer this question is actually to give examples. Okay, give examples of what you can do and how you can help them do it, on what you can do here and how you can help them do it here. So instead of saying you're organized and hardworking because everyone else is, go ahead and say. The third you should avoid is not knowing your own resume. You'd be surprised at how many people don't even know the skills in their resume. You'd be surprised at how many people it is that doesn't know about a lot of things on their resume. Now they go ahead and pay someone to write their resume rather, and at the end of the day they don't even care to go through it. They just submit, and once they are called for an interview, they go ahead and go for the interview. And once they are asked the question like, how can you help me with this skill, how can you help me with that skill, they're like, what? I don't have that skill. It's not in my CV, it's not in my resume. That's a fat mistake. That is a big mistake that you should avoid. Okay, I'm not saying that you should not pay someone who is more experienced to write your resume for you, but at least do yourself some good to go through the resume after it is done and before your interview. Go through your resume and go ahead and study your experiences. Okay, go ahead and study your experiences, study your skills, study everything on the resume, so that you will be able to defend it. So once they ask you a question on each of them, you can be able to defend it. The number 4 question you should avoid is talking too much or even talking too little. So here's the deal, right? During an interview, okay, long rambling words, long rambling talks is likely and has every potential and possibility to make the interviewer lose interest. Okay, but you know the next thing? The next thing is not even talking at all. Is worst. The worst is not even talking at all, giving a one-word response. Do you have this? Yes. Do you have this? Yes. How do you use this skill for organization? How do you use this skill for project management? How do you use this skill for this? How do you use this skill for scheduling? I mean, that could be the worst way to answer an interview question. So during an interview, balance is key. Okay, keep your answers clear, keep your answers concise, keep your answers straight to the point, and keep it engaging. Okay, keep it engaging. Don't go overboard trying to answer things, and just don't go overboard trying to answer questions. So let's say they ask you a question on how do you handle multiple tasks. Okay, don't just go ahead and say, oh, I just prioritize my task and yeah, I make sure to get them done. Nah, that is a very wrong and bad way to answer such question during an interview. Instead, say this. Yeah. So the last but not the least mistakes to avoid during a virtual assistant interview is failing to ask questions. Okay, so this one now is very huge. You know why? At the end of every interview, your interviewer is going to have to ask you, do you have any questions for us? Now, when they ask you these questions, don't go ahead and say no, because saying no just puts you out there as a red flag. But asking a question, about one or two questions, signifies a lot. It shows them that you're interested in this role for this company, and you've made a lot of researches on this company and would like to know certain things about them. Now, there are questions you will ask them and they'll be like, oh my god, this person sure knows her onions. And yeah, just that could get you the job. It is tested and it is trusted. So yeah. So here are some questions you could ask here once you're being given the floor. Okay, you could go ahead and ask them, what tools do you use currently to manage tasks and communications? Yeah, you could also ask, can you please tell me more about the team I'll be working with? Or can you please tell me about the team I'll be supporting? Yeah, so those are great questions. It's just to, oh yeah, you can also make researches on your own and come up with great questions too. Yeah, and yeah, these questions will show that you're thinking ahead and you're already picturing yourself working with them or working for them rather. Yeah, however it is. Yeah, so there you have it, some of the biggest mistakes to avoid during a virtual assistant interview. Yeah, so now you know what to do. Now you know how to tailor your answers towards certain questions. Now you know how to go about certain things during or before your interview as a virtual assistant. So log in with confidence and ace that interview. I wish you all the best. If you've watched this video to this point, or you found it helpful, do not to engage, please. Subscribe to this channel, like, comment and share, as I'll be dropping more jaw-dropping tips on how to go about your freelance life as a virtual assistant or as a freelancer in general. So yeah, catch you in the next video. Bye.